Thanks for staying with us here on the AM show. Welcome to the newspaper review segment of our show, where we'll also tell you what's trending on our website, myjoyonline.com. Joseph Akable is here. It's finally Friday, Joseph.
Hello, Mavi.
We made it. It's Friday.
Yes. I had a colleague back in school who used to say that Monday come, Friday that. I used to talk about how the days move very fast.
Yeah. And, you know, Fridays, Charlie, the week it's been tough. It's been tough. I mean, we've gone through different things, and I'm not just talking about us. It's everybody's story, really. Yeah. You either cried or you laughed or you were disappointed at some points or you got some good news. Like, it's been a mixture. So we've got Lamisi in the studio performing live for us. Can we show them how the studio looks like? Well, maybe in the course of our review, we will. But Joseph, we're going to go through the newspapers. I have the Times, the Graphic, and the Daily Dispatch.
I have the Daily Guide. I also have the BNFT and the Finder newspaper.
We're doing something today. There's been some huge headlines this week. So we call it Rewind. We're going to go back from Monday and then share with you some of the big headlines. We will give you the opportunity to also let us know what's been on your mind, like which stories caught your attention this week. So let's jump straight away and bring you the headlines as we have them. Joseph?
I'll start from the front page of the Daily Guide. It says, voters exhibition today, offenders not voting. And Baumia opens fire on NDC. And cool doctor out of prison also on the front page. And 45 Get Fund projects can't be traced. That's a photograph of the Get Fund boss. The back page of the Daily Guide has this story about FIFA boss Trump talk World Cup, and CAF chief salutes President Akufo-Addo also on the back page, and Neymar slapped with ban also on the back page of the Daily Guide this morning. We can quickly do the BNFT, the Business and Financial Times. Hoteliers present speedy recovery plan to government. Comes along with a photograph of Dr. Akanyamike, president of the Ghana Hoteliers Association. The spelling of the Aka is wrong, but it's fine. ICUMS push KIA revenue collection up, and scrap wasteful tax incentives reform tax system also on the front page of the BNFT. The back page has the story about some airlines that are planning to launch 4 weekly flights to Accra starting September 29, and some donation that has been done for the government also on the back page of the BNFT. The final one for me this morning will be the Finder newspaper. It has accounts of clients of defunct companies duly credited. It's coming from the Consolidated Bank, Ghana. And you know, earlier they had wanted to issue bonds.
Yes.
And I mean, there are those who are saying that when election is close, whatever is stuck in the skies will fall down quickly.
Everything is possible.
Yeah, we'll find the money. And so, I mean, that's some good news for the customers who have been agitating for some time now. Register exhibition kicks off. It's also on the front page. And Obribwan cast doubt on Andy Appiah-Kubi's candidature. Chinese government hands over medical supplies to Ghana, and the bit about, I mean, the registration exercise. The good thing is that you can do it on your phone. You just have to text your ID number to a short code 1422.
Okay.
And you'll get your details where, if the details are inaccurate or when there's something wrong with your registration process, you can just go over and have it remedied. And so this is a good move. I think I'll be trying it at some point so that you don't have to necessarily go to the registration center in this time of COVID-19.
Okay.
So that is it for
certainly good.
The front pages.
All right, let's continue with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Front page of the Times, EC begins voter registration exhibition today at 33,666 centers nationwide. CBG pays customers of defunct financial institutions. Civil servants warned against engaging in partisan politics is also another headline on the front page of the Times. And car snatcher jailed 12 years for attempted robbery. That's the taxi driver I mentioned earlier. He's 29. He's been sentenced to 12 years imprisonment in hard labor by an Accra Circuit Court. And details of what he did. Well, hired services. So another taxi driver from Achimota overhead to Anya. This is a person who hired the services of another taxi driver from Achimota to Anya. DSP Efia Tenge said Odro The man at the center of this signaled the driver to stop where two young men were waiting, but the taxi driver, sensing danger, sped off with Udru to the nearest police station. It's a bit scattered. You might want to grab the paper and read the details. But there's this other story on page 3. Irate youth chop off man's hand. What did this man do? This is an innocent electrician who saw a group of people beating up someone else who was supposed to be their colleague, and he decided to stop the fights or stop the attacks. In the process, he got his hand, and the description is that from the wrists chopped off totally. He got some other injuries as well, just because he was being a good person. So details of this story also on page 3, and there's also another story of a magistrate court issuing a bench warrant for the arrest of a fetish priest who allegedly murdered a 52-year-old farmer in a place near Akusi in the eastern region. On the back page of the Times, Get Fund justifies $1.5 billion loan with 1,666 projects. Dua Dam to be rehabilitated at $8 million. To the Daily Graphic now, voters register opens today for verification. Exercise lasts 8 days, ends September 25. Hotel operations in slow starts. And this is another worrying story. 46,000 people living with HIV refuse treatment, according to the Ghana AIDS Commission. And some of the reasons they give, if you look at the story filed by Doreen Ando, it says, for the refusal of the patient to undergo treatment, Mr. Etuahene, who speaks for the Ghana AIDS Commission, who is actually the Director General of the Commission, Mr. Treme Etuahene, explained that some of them were living in denial of their status. Others feared stigmatization, while some had fallen prey to false claims of cure by traditional healers and spiritualists. Let's see on the back page of the paper. Latest film supports graphics 70th anniversary. Also 16,000 new households to get electricity in northern region. In the center spread, 60th anniversary of Sino-Ghana relations. Baumia calls for further cooperation. Minister commends health workers for dedication in midst of COVID-19. Also 5,000 documents digitized by Records and Archives Department. The last paper for me, the Daily Dispatch, on the front page, history of EC's filing fees from 500 Ghana cedis in 1992 to 100,000 Ghana cedis in 2020. If you're interested in the history, I guess you can grab the Daily Dispatch. It comes with the various Electoral Commission heads. Focus on JoyNews' Araba Kumsin, and as part of our 25 years anniversary, we've been telling you stories about some of our colleagues who've worked here for really long. And this time, this week really, we've been telling the story of Araba Kumsin, and the Daily Dispatch has picked up on it. Kindly read it if you didn't hear the report that Justice Bedu put together, and get inspiration. Before. Yes. And then Metro TV as well.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so she's come a really long way. She said when she first came to Joy FM, she met giants.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like something she couldn't conquer, but
the
here
journey
she
is always like that. I mean,
yeah.
when you walk in and you sit around the table, you see Mama V and all the others there, and you're like, goodness, I'm in trouble.
No, I'm not sure you felt that way about me.
Oh, I did. I mean, I did.
Never been intimidated.
I was intimidated.
Really?
Intimidated, yeah.
Ooh. It's a beautiful newsroom, by the way, so we welcome you if you want to join us. Why take out Narcotics Control Commission from new security setup? It's a headline, a question on the front page of the Daily Dispatch. Alex Moult's open letter to Ken Oforiatta is also on page 2 in the Daily Dispatch newspaper. All right, Joe, what we wanted to do today, Friday, is to just rewind and bring you some of the stories, some of the big headlines this week. So right now, just for the next couple of minutes, you can also join us. Anything that caught your attention this week, 0302-211-6912. Joe, let's start, I guess, for Monday after the news broke on Saturday about Professor Bennett's killing, because that was only discovered on Saturday, and apparently he had died either 2 days before that, and that became huge this week as well.
Yeah, certainly worrying, especially the manner of the death, and this is a law professor, and so people were struggling and trying to understand what exactly had happened. And the updates that came up in the course of the week was that 4 domestic workers, they were put before the courts, obviously to meet the 48-hour deadline that the state can hold them without a court order. And so they were taken to the court, they were charged with murder, and their lawyers tried to get them bail, but that was denied, and they were remanded into the custody of the police. And so that matter comes back sometime in September 30. But it was a very big story from the weekend, like you said, and came this weekend, got all of us worried. Yeah,
absolutely. And I remember speaking to colleagues of his at the University of Ghana. Most of them not necessarily even in the law faculty where he was, but they said if you knew the man closely and the manner in which his death is being reported and how, from the prosecutor's angle, how they found him, for instance, those details are really worrying. Like, you couldn't reconcile, like, these are the kind of person that he is and what has happened to him. Everybody's looking for an explanation. And also worrying is the fact that we've seen high-profile deaths, if you like, and we haven't had closures. So the fact that some 4 persons have been remanded really doesn't necessarily give us hope, and so we really do pray that the police will do a fantastic job in terms of finding the killers, and so that we can find justice and bring closure to this. Let's go to the phone lines. Prosper is in Hohoy. Good morning, Prosper. Hello, Prosper. Oh, we lost Prosper there. Do we have Karim? Good morning, Karim. Karim is in Tamale. Karim, are you there?
Morning, I'm ready.
Okay, Karim, good morning. Thanks for joining us. So what story caught your attention this week? What was the biggest for you?
Amazi, first of all, let me say good morning to you and good morning to the lady of JoyNews, and good morning to your co-host in the studio. Yes. I think I want to talk relative to the issue of the Electoral Commission pegging the filing fee for both the parliamentary and the presidential at 10,000, 100,000 cedis. I think that as Ghanaians, we should at all in times be ready to protect and support state institutions to deliver their mandate.
So you think okay, I want you have to be really brief for us. You know how the review is. It has to be So was it more, do you agree with the increments or not?
Absolutely. I have not seen anything wrong with it, because we start the Electoral Commission to deliver credible, fair election 2020.
Okay, all right.
So I was thinking that we should give them that room to operate, so that in the end, the results that we expect from them will be delivered as Ghanaians. Okay,
all right, Karim, thank you very much. So Karim's biggest this week, the filing fee announced by the Electoral Commission. Nuruddin is in what? Nuruddin, good morning. You have to make it really snappy. What was your biggest headline this week?
Good morning. My biggest story for this week is actually the filing fee announced by the Electoral Commission.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because moving into the registration, I think government has procured some equipment for the compilation of the new voter register. And the filing fee, I think, is too much. So are we not selling our democracy to the highest bidder?
Okay, Nuruddin, thank you very much. I get your points. Abdullah is in Tamale. Good morning, Abdullah. Thanks for joining us. What was your biggest headline this week?
Good morning, sister.
Yes, Abdullah. Good morning. Go ahead.
I'm calling from Tamale.
Sure. What was your biggest headline?
Oh, my biggest headline is the murder of the University of Ghana law lecturer.
Okay.
Sure. When the news broke up on Saturday, in actual fact, on that very day, I was really so sad for an innocent lecturer. But and I really wish that the murderers of the lecturer will be found.
Okay, all right. Abdullah, that's our prayer also. Let's go to Rafiq. Hello, Rafiq.
Hello, Mama V.
Yes, Rafiq, good morning. What was your biggest headline this week?
Mama V, my biggest news this week was, hello?
Yes, you're on air, Rafiq.
My biggest news story this week was about the Okada.
The Okada issue. Okay.
The Vice President said the MPP is never going to regularize.
Okay.
I think it is the best decision the MPP has made.
All right.
You see, Mama V, the tricycles which we call yellow in Tamale, they are causing a lot of chaos on our roads.
Okay.
They don't have a parking place, they don't have a station, and we are just managing with them on our roads.
Okay.
I am imagining what this
okay, Rafiq,
bikes will come and add.
Okay, Rafiq, we appreciate, but we have to make it very snappy. Emmanuel is in Sefi Asafo. That's my last call, really. Emmanuel, good morning.
Good morning, Mama V.
Yes, sir. Let's hear what's your biggest story this week.
My biggest headline was the accident at Castration involving the ground bed Kia bus and the goods carrying truck. It was so sad, and I believe the only message I want to send to our politicians is that they should really work on that route and dualize the route for us. I think it will really reduce the accidents on that route.
Yeah. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you very much. It was actually one of the issues that we also put down, Joseph Akable, what Emmanuel just talked about, the accident at Castration on the Suhum Road. And then just later in the evening, we also got word of that one that you mentioned to us the day after at Gomwa, yes. So the accident's also been really topical. And then there was the Kennedy Japan issue. Remember, that was also, he was supposed to appear on Monday. And we did tell you how we had spotted a number of apologies ahead of that contempt issue. But then there was a twist that you mentioned, that he said the things that he said that the court didn't find was the
that the
word.
court had issues with, that the court felt it was disrespectful. He said they were targeted at a different judge. Now, he's supposed to go back this morning. And his lawyers yesterday filed an application at the Supreme Court. Now, they are asking the Supreme Court to stop the High Court judge from hearing the matter this morning because this judge has not been insulted. Another judge has been attacked. That judge apology has been rendered. And so this judge has no business proceeding with the matter. They again make the point that they find it strange that they are saying they couldn't find him to serve him with the documents. He says it's a notorious fact that he's a regular panelist on a program on Net2 TV. And all you have to do is to come there at that particular day and you'll find him. And same with Parliament. So he finds it strange that there are claims that a bailiff was trying to find him to effect service and he couldn't find him. Okay.
This is not also just straightforward because we know that the court is on vacation. The high courts,
the high courts,
those higher
courts are sitting.
Exactly. So there are also some legalities right there that I'm not sure. So what's going to happen? You're going to go to court today?
Yes. Once the case is settled, the case will be called, and we understand that his lawyers will be bringing their application to the notice of the judge, just informing the judge that, look, the court is on vacation, but we have filed these documents, and we expect that even before it is determined, respect it. Because if you proceed and the Supreme Court holds the view that they should have halted you, they will set aside whatever decision you take. And so take that view. Then the judge will respond either agreeing or disagreeing.
Because it's not automatic that once you bring his attention to something you filed in a higher court, he's just supposed to hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, this is getting really interesting, isn't it? We wait to see. So Joseph will bring us up to speed with that. I think one of the other things that caught my attention a day after the headline was the boobs story.
Yeah, and he put me on assignment, and I've not been to court, so I'm going to
court today to check
I'll have an answer on Monday.
The Ghana Bar president said about
But it could be the case that since the advice, things have changed.
Okay. So this is the.
But Monday, I'll brief all of us on Monday whether it has changed or it's
absolutely. Which court are you going to today? The High Court.
The High Court. Yeah.
All right. Okay. We'll see how people behave around the High Court in terms of the. We greet all of you, the lawyers, this morning, and then the ECOWAS meeting. Let's not forget that our president, as chairman of ECOWAS, had his first biggest assignment. That was a meeting to restore or to bring calm to the Mali issue that was held here in Accra. First of all, there were some road closures, but then there was also the issue of about the military leaders visiting former President Rawlings. That also made huge headlines. But this is the Pejasi Lodge meeting under the leadership of the chairman of ECOWAS, our President Akufo-Addo. But the person mediating this is Mr. Goodluck Jonathan, former president of Nigeria. They gave themselves about a week for him to come back and report to...
Yes, they expect that a civilian government, civilian leadership will be put in place to manage the transition from the military regime, because they don't think that the military has any business meddling in such affairs. And I mean, you can see them working there. You know what is of interest to me? Alassane Ouattara. You know, in Cote d'Ivoire, they've managed to get some approval to extend for him to do a third term now. And I mean, he was one of those who showed up, and people were raising issues about it. But I mean, that went through a constitutional process. But it's the same constitutional process that made Nkrumah life president. And so you can legally do things, it doesn't make it right. And so that is what is happening in Cote d'Ivoire. But he was here to lend support to our president. Yeah.
Can you imagine? I don't know why African leaders simply can't just finish their term and just knock off. Just knock off like we do here in Ghana.
Yeah,
we know that you can go for a 2-term in office. Once you're done, nobody's talking about making changes to the constitution so they can go again. I don't know why.
If there's any changes, you should be proposing it for those who will come after you. It shouldn't be such that you benefit, else it means that you have a desire to stay on to power.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very worrying that, I mean, these things keep happening in Africa. We've come a very long way, but we still have a long way to go.
Yeah, so definitely one of the highlights for us. And then maybe a final one that I saw being reported on the BBC, but this happened in Nigeria, the Kaduna State. What's the punishment, Joseph, for rape in Ghana? And then we'll tell you about this issue of them looking at a law that would allow them to castrate rapists in the Kaduna State, at least.
So in Ghana, you can do between 5, minimum 5 and maximum 25. If it's defilement, you can do 7 and do maximum of 25. But we are told that others have stepped up efforts and they are now introducing castration.
Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so the whole idea is that, and I've listened to some people who've gone through this traumatic experience say, perhaps if the people or the person who raped me had been castrated, then they could not rape the next person. You get what I mean?
Yes, but we've also seen cases where people have been found guilty of rape, and on appeal, the decision has been set aside. And so when you castrate the individual and now on appeal,
you can come back and restore.
That's the problem.
Oh, I get the thing. Because the fact that you're sentenced doesn't mean that it's going to remain that way forever.
Yeah. Because sometimes you can be convicted and sentenced. The High Court, the Court of Appeal will affirm the High Court decision. It can go to the Supreme Court, where they may even affirm it, and when it goes back for a review, they may disagree. And so there's a whole chain of processes that it goes in.
Oh, I didn't think about this angle, really.
Yeah.
But there was also somebody who went through that experience in South Africa who was also saying that this may also lead to, like a rapist killing the victim, knowing what would happen to him if it's found out. So there are different angles to this. But for us doing the review, these are some of the big stories that caught our attention. We thank you all, particularly those who called us. If you couldn't reach us, we'll do this every Friday. Rewind if you like. Joseph, thank you very much. Go to the court this morning.
Yes.
Bring us all the news related to Kenya, Japan, and the boobs.
Yes, I'll bring that.
We wish you well. Make sure you wear your glasses so you can see well. Stay with us. We've got sports coming up next. And then we'll give you some good tunes. You would love it. It's a freaky, fantastic Friday here on the AM Show.